Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Mr. Smallwood. Thank you
Yeah.
thank you so much for giving us the time to talk here on the podcast. We were just telling Virginia that we have been fans of your work, long time fans. And
Thank you. Thank you so much.
and if you don't mind, let's just jump right into it. Hello?
Yeah, they still there.
President and CEO of the National Black.
Hello?
Yeah, they still there.
Of course, we're here
Oh, yeah.
with a legendary,
She's interested.
notable gospel leader, with whom we'll also be hearing, and we're going to be talking about the event that's coming up on October 25th. But briefly, let me just say a little bit about the National Black Leadership Commission, who we are, what we are, in fact, having this concert. This is its 31st year. Our mission is to educate, mobilize, and empower Black leaders to meet the challenges of fighting HIV and health disparities in their provide direct assistance for communities on a nationwide scale in order to produce change, getting people linked to get making sure that resources are in those areas. And now we have affiliates in Tampa, Atlanta, Tuskegee, Detroit, Washington, D.C., Long Island, New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, New York. And so
Yeah.
to support basically our general operations, because unfortunately most grants want to direct it to a specific program area, but obviously money for operations. So the event that the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS, often referred to as NBLACA, is really in its gospel concert series. This used to be a mainstay of the organization up to about maybe 6 or 8 years ago. So given the fact that we work a lot with faith-based organizations on the ground, the organization was born to the leadership of faith leaders because of their, commitment to social justice and healthcare issues. So having this concert, this extravaganza, is more than just a concert. Of October, this is an exciting time to perform more so. So here to talk about that a little further, of course,
Yeah. Hello.
so,
Yes, I am. I am.
All right.
Reverend Richard Smallwood
Reverend.
nominated Stellar and Dove Award-winning songwriter,
Yes.
and so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And
Musician,
of course, we would
great
also
musician.
be joined by J.J. Harrison and Youth for Praise. But we're delighted to have Reverend Smallwood with us today. So he's going to make some comments and we'll ask any questions. But that's who we are, what we do, and why we are now doing the concert.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. It is. I just wanted to sort of insert that when my manager told me about what this was about, I was gung-ho, if you will, to try to be a part of it. I personally have lost several very good friends to AIDS in the 80s. My godbrother, who was one of my best friends, died in 1995, and I helped to take care of him. So this is very, very, and this is before that there were medications and different inroads that are better now when it comes to treating, and all they had was AZT. So this is a very close thing to my heart. So I'm very excited and very glad to be a part of it. Do anything I can help to raise money and to make a better awareness of AIDS and HIV.
That's awesome.
And it is, and Reverend Smallwood mentioned about for the medication. I will point out this is now about, I think, the 37th year since it has become known that the first release from the Center for Disease Control about what this, at that time, mysterious disease was or is.
Right.
Since that time, African Americans are continued to be disproportionately impacted in terms of new infections. Black gay men, sexless men, black heterosexual women, black transgender women, black folks. Yet the awareness about the treatments that have, the antiretroviral treatments, the care that the person is tested and they go into, they can live a quality of life. And the loss of right, Reverend Smallwood died, brother, I think he said in 1995. Many African Americans still were not taking advantage of the, the medication. So, great deal of black folks are still disproportionately impacted. So, getting this message. And
so, this project. Now, this project has been going on for over 30 years. Over the course of 30 years, I'm pretty sure you've seen that you made such an impact in these communities because of events like this one, where people will reach out or seek help, as as Reverend Smallwood just said. Based on medical technology, there's more cures and there's more treatment. But how has, over the last 30 years, events like this affected the community's awareness and wanted to jump in and help out with this cause?
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I just think it's very important to have functions such as this help people to be aware of it, aware of the treatment, and get a number of events like this down through the years. I think one was called Bomb and Iliad, which sort of helps people to be aware of it because our community is so affected by it. More than anybody else.
Now, Reverend Smallwood, one thing that connects this project and kind of connects it to the music that you've been doing for over 40 years, like you have always given back. Whether that be, in this case, more on a community-based thing, but you always gave to others, whether it be groups you started, like the Smallwood Singers, Transition, Vision. You're not afraid to step out of that comfort zone. What makes you, I guess, always, we call it like throwing the ball back to the community. What makes you want to do that?
Well, what I do, I consider ministry, and ministry is giving back, and it's making a difference in other people's lives. Just recording or standing up on stage and singing, that's one thing. But to help people who need to be encouraged and things of that nature is of the utmost importance. And so I just always thought that whatever way that I've had to AIDS, I've had mentors to come. That nature, I just think it's very important to do whatever I can, get my music, not only encouraging through the music, but to do events that will help make a difference and make people more aware.
That's awesome, because not only have you, I guess, made people more aware personally, you've made history, not just in music. I'm talking about the Smithsonian Honors. I'm talking about way back in the day at Howard University, some of their programs that
Right.
they've had. Like I said, I am a big fan, and
Yeah.
I've seen this.
Thank you.
But how do you, I guess, feel afterwards? Do you take it all in, or is it just kind of you're just doing the mission God sent for you to do on that day?
Well, I think that, like it says, it's better to give than to receive. And I think when you can take whatever gift that God has given you and to help others with it in some kind of way, that makes you feel like you've done something that's helping somebody. And like I said, that's what ministry is about, to help people. All of us are going through something, and so, if you get the chance or the opportunity to reach out and to help some that are going through things that are life-threatening or that are very detrimental to their lives or whatever, I just think it's so important that you do, because that's a part of ministry. That's what Jesus did. He went, into people. He ministered to people who had leprosy. He went to people who were deaf, who were dumb, who were, poor. And I think so many times we miss out on that. We're so caught up on doing what it is that we do that we realize that we have a responsibility. The gifts that we have are just not for us at all, but our gifts are to help others. So when you can do that, it really makes you feel accomplished, and it makes you feel that you're doing something worthwhile.
Man, you are doing something worthwhile, teaming up with the
Very much.
National Black Leadership Commission, and not just you. I mean, you've teamed up with J.J. Harrison and Youthful Praise, and you guys,
Most definitely.
man, I can't.
JJ, who's an amazing young artist, who I'm so proud of. So I'm just glad to be a part of.
Well, one of the things I look forward to the 25th,
Oh.
mainly because
I'm here. I'm not sure if something happened with everybody else. I'm going to hang up and call back in. Maybe that might help.
okay,
All right.
And I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm still on. I can hear.
okay, Virginia.
Yes, I'm still here.
Well, what I was saying about
Is Brother Smallwood still on?
no, is something happened with his phone? They got to hang up, call right back. On the conference line,
Okay.
but I'm glad you here because I got some questions for you too. Virginia.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about in BLACA, the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS. Like when you have done this for the community, like you said, you got projects, a lot of major cities that you said earlier. Now, this isn't a one-shop thing. I want to talk about some of the other programs to help, like, develop the strategies and a lot of issues. It's not just HIV and AIDS, but you guys have helped in other aspects as well. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Oh, yeah, because we recognize that HIV does not stand alone. And HIV is impacted by other social determinants like poverty, unemployment, underemployment, lack of education, mental health. So we focus our work in unity broadly, the intersectionality between AIDS and these other diseases, including hepatitis C, which is a main problem in the black community also. Many people are living with hepatitis C, and they don't know it because it is much more of a silent, disease. But I wanted to comment further on something that Reverend Smallwood talked about, giving back. And I, too, am a very strong proponent that blessings are given to us to be able to give them back.
Absolutely.
But making people aware of what is still happening in the black community, and that's why events like October 25th, the Gospel Extravaganza with the Reverend Richard Smallwood and J.J. Harrison Youthful Praise is so important, because despite all the information that is out there, and despite what is known, there is still such a lack of information as we go from city to city with this message. and part two is the
Right.
complacency of media, because people are not seeing people die like we saw in the 70s and in the 80s from HIV.
Yes.
So there's complacency that it is no longer a problem. And among young people, with the growing sexually transmitted infections, which are opportunistic
Yep.
diseases for HIV, it clearly shows that we must continue to find ways to get this message out through events like October 25th. And we certainly hope that your listening audience will participate, support, and just have a wonderful evening of gospel music with Richard Smallwood, J.J. Harrison, and Youthful Praise.
And speaking of which,
And-
I won't.
and
Okay. I was saying I won't.
No, I would
Please go ahead.
go ahead.
No.
I was just saying that I don't think that we can be vocal enough. So the more organizations like this who are vocal, the better, because a lot of the poor communities don't know about it. About the help that can be given, and as you said, things like hepatitis C, people don't even know sometimes that they have it. So even just the testing is so very, very important. That you have younger people who didn't live through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s who don't know the history. So the more we can be vocal in our communities, especially in our black communities, the better.
I hear you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So one thing I want you both to be vocal about is, Virginia, if you don't mind, please give out all the social media information about this, because I want all of my listeners to jump in, look into this, do their homework, do some research. Please go ahead. All things related to this cause. Please go ahead.
Okay, this is the Gospel Extravaganza that will be held at the famed Marion Anderson Hall at City College Aaron Davis Hall on Thursday, October 25th at 7 p.m. And, of course, performing live will be Richard Smallwood, legendary Grammy-nominated Stellar and Gold Award-winning songwriter and musician. And, of course, along with him will be J.J. Harrison and Youthful Praise. And tickets available can be purchased at City College for the Arts. And that is City College Center for the Arts.org. That's one word, City College Center for the Arts.org. And that telephone number there is 212-650-6900. And, of course, my office in the OCA, National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS, our number is 212-614-0025. And if there are any questions about the event, purchasing a ticket, you can always call my office in the OCA at 212-614-0023. But tickets can be purchased, as I said, at City College Center for the Arts.org. And the tickets are $100.
All right. And Reverend Smallwood. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. But do you mind if you got time for two fan questions? I just as a fan of your work, and we don't get your socials out there too. But I got two. I'm pretty sure you. I'm pretty sure you've answered this question so many times, and I'm pretty sure you get this every day. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Reverend Smallwood on my podcast. Will we see the full live piano album? Just nothing but melody. Will we see that?
Am I going to make a piano album?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, at some point. I've been threatening to do it for probably 20 or 30 years. But and usually on each album that I've done, I do a piano solo.
Yes, you do.
So at some point, I'll definitely do it.
Okay. I had to ask. And lastly, you've worked with just about everybody. Period. Not just in the gospel world. You have worked with just about everybody. Now, one thing I would like to know, there's a lot of young people clearly listening to this right now, not just musicians, just young people as a whole. What word of advice, because you done been where they trying to go, do you have any word of advice for the next generation of just young guys and girls coming up who just kind of want to do a fraction of what you did?
Well, I think my first thing is to put God first in terms of whatever you want to do, it's music or whatever. And certainly, if it's music, I think it's of prime importance that you get some kind of education in your craft. I'm a very strong supporter of education. Thank God my mother sort of instilled that in my heart and my spirit. But get an education in your craft. You don't necessarily have to get it free, but if you're a singer, take voice lessons to learn how to preserve your voice. If you're a keyboardist, learn how to breathe, learn technique that will help you in terms of your keyboard playing. And then if you want to even go into it as a business, it's so important that you remember it's just not a ministry, but it is also a business. So it's important that you look at it that way and get people around you who understand the business, and you can learn, and also you learn as much as you can about the business. A lot of people have gotten taken advantage of. The very first song I wrote for Howard's Gospel Choir many years ago was stolen by another artist. Well, I didn't know anything about copywriting, so I had no idea about it. So it's very important that you learn the business end of it as well. So I would say God, education, and business.
Those great advice. Reverend Smallwood, if you do me so kind, please give out all your social media stuff, because I only assume there's more gems to be had, more wisdom, more ministry that you give. So please give out all your social media information if you don't mind.
Well, on Twitter, I'm Richwood Music, RICHWOOD. What is it? RICHWUZIK. I'm on Facebook. You just look up under Richard Smallwood. I have a personal page as well as I have a fan page. And on Instagram, I am Smallrich, SMALLRICH.
All right, and we'll make sure we post that and the event as it comes up. It is Thursday, October 25th. Get your tickets right now. And I want to thank you guys so much for just giving us a little bit of time of your day. Just be on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Looking forward to
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
That was wonderful.
That
That was wonderful. That